Hey guys, this is Yoda. In this video, we'll go over some of the class changes that were posted recently in the Midnight Alpha patch notes. Obviously, the game is a long way off from actually coming out, but people are always excited to see what's coming. So firstly, there is one big change, diminishing returns. Basically, what this means is your stun will never fail to AoE stop or stop a cast. It'll always be at least 1/16th of the duration. Obviously, it won't be super long, but that is a pretty good change, especially for pugs. Some interrupt durations have been increased. There's also nicer pugs. However, what is not nice for pugs is that you can no longer see anyone's interrupt cooldown or stop cooldown or wall cooldown or any cooldown. So good luck coordinating anything in a pug. Well, that's the topic for another video. As for blood decay, that's going to be the first thing we go over. Quite a few things have changed. There's an essay here, but basically TLDR, Bone Shield is no longer a resource. Like, you don't have to deal with Shattering Bone, you don't have to deal with Tombstone and Bone Storm. And they should have more baseline, quote-unquote, tankiness and more baseline power. So a couple big changes here. Dance of Midnight. Whenever you have Dance of Rune open out, you're going to be, a lot stronger. There's a few talents around it, and also a random proc for it. One other thing, though, since they removed the Bone Shield thing, your Dance of Rune is going to be a really long cooldown now. You basically have to be that tanky baseline without Dancing Rune weapon. Deadly Reach. Death Strike gets additional 2 enemies is insane. This is basically what you had on a random proc in Season 2 of War Within. But now it's just active all the time. That is crazy. Very happy about this. Some random other extra talents. Blood Mist. Don't think is going to be super effective. I'm going to be honest. It looks like it's just a little bit of AoE damage. Kind of just replacing Bone Storm. Consumption is now an Empower ability. Okay, that could be interesting, especially with Sand Lane / Infliction. We'll have to see how that actually plays out. Gorfine's Grasp now is only 1 point, basically, and when it used to be 2 points. That's good. Death Strike healing has been significantly reduced. Bone Shield armor increased by 25% is massive. 35% more armor. Okay, you just have way more armor now, so that is pretty cool. Sometimes Rune Tap is gone. Oh no, my favorite talent. It's GG. So it looks like you're just gonna be baseline tankier, but you won't have that many more defensives. You do still have Red Thirst, so you're gonna have cooldown reduced on Vamp Blood. But unlike a lot of other classes which do not have a lot of cooldown reduction, which we'll see later. So Blood is looking pretty good. A lot of good changes. DH got a lot of changes. Annihilator is going to be the new hero talent. We'll have to see how that plays out, with VDH. Can't really say too much about it yet. For VDH, they said they said it's too hard to play. They're going to basically make it so you have 100% spikes uptime. Meta is still going to be 2 minutes. But, like, the crazy mechanics from Frailty and Soul Crush, Frailty and Painbringer, which were your stacking DRs, are basically going to be gone. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So we'll go over it now. To Demon Spikes, you have 5% more baseline DR. Basically, it seems like they're going to make tanks a lot easier to play, right? Demon Spikes, 5% more baseline DR. Demon Spikes, Spending Fury reduces cooldown of Demon Spikes. And I think Demon Spikes baseline is 12 seconds instead of 8. So you're going to have 100% Demon Spikes uptime. It's basically going to be impossible not to have that. Feldev damage increased by 15, healing increased by 600. They probably got pissed off because I was canceling Feldev, which I might still do, but might not do. Actually, we'll see, because like the value of souls is a lot lower. Fiery Brand now, instead of spreading, just gives you 40% DR, which is pretty nice. Fracture now overrides Doomlight. Okay, this seems like just baseline changes, back end changes. Fracture cooldown increase. Not sure how much that matters. It looks like you're going to be playing like a Fury-based Vengeance now too, just to do damage, because you won't care at all about like your Frailty stacks. You also won't care about your Painbringer stacks, which we'll get to soon. Spear Bomb is now a 25-second cooldown, and it actually does damage now, which is kind of a nice change, I guess. Frailty changes. Okay, the TLDR of the frailty changes is that baseline frailty is very slightly stronger, but it no longer stacks. If you read Soul Crush, if we find it, where the heck is it? Soul Crush, Soul Crush, Soul Crush. The effects of your frailty are doubled. So instead of getting like, you know, 4-ish stacks on AoE and like 8 to 10 on single target or your main target, basically it just says you have 2 stacks all the time. And your stacks are a little bit stronger, so it's more like 2.5 stacks. So your baseline mitigation, I would say, is going to be a lot weaker as VDH. Like you have a little bit more from the spikes that you're permanently having, but I don't know. My gut says this is going to be a nerf for VDH. Also, Illuminated Sigil is just straight up gone. And there was another change. Oh yeah, Painbringer. Painbringer now doesn't stack. It's 3 to 6%, and it's always on. So before, Painbringer would be giving you like, I don't know, 10 to 20% damage reduction. Now it's 3 to 6%. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. It does not look good, in my opinion, for VDH, but we'll see. Maybe you can just have brand up enough that it doesn't matter, but we will see. All right, Druid. Guardian Druid, I think, got quite a few good changes. There's a lot of new talents. Some baseline stats increased. I don't think this is going to be very good. This is actually going to be terrible, I think. Never play this. Resetting the cooldown of Thrash. Attacks 5 additional times. Yeah, and I don't know how good this is going to be. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's going to be that good. Maybe it says like 12-second uptime out of 1 minute. You can stack 5 more Thrashes, so instead of 3 stacks, you have 8 stacks. So that's what, 15% DR? I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad, I guess. Playable. Maybe if it's good, a good point in the talent tree. Sure what this does? Does this change anything? Wait, is this a redesign? This is just normal, no? Well, I feel like this is just normal. I'm not sure. Star 169 is 2 charges baseline. That is very good. Ursul's Warring now 1 point. Also very good. Basically, Guardian Druid is still intact, which is more than we can say for some of the other tanks. And it got a few baseline fixes, which is nice. Guardian Druid looking stronger, I would say, than it is currently. Rolling down a bit to the next tank. I believe is Paladin. Wait, no, it's Brewmaster. Okay. RSK removed for Brewmaster. Chi Burst with Brewmaster only. That's kind of nice. Placed RSK with Stagger. I assume that's a passive. Brewmaster's kick contains a number of very niche cooldowns and abilities, as well as a number of talents which have a highly transformative impact on gameplay. In aggregate, this means it's difficult to learn. We're aiming to broaden some of these niches while narrowing the impact of transformational talents. What, like Weapons of Order? Where's Weapons of Order? Weapons of Order has been removed! That's crazy. Okay. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, I'll be honest. Empty barrels? This looks like a damage thing. It's not gonna reduce the damage you take. It can heal you a little bit. A bunch of new talents around Exploding Keg, it looks like. A lot of Brood cooldown reduction. Looks like they're changing tanks again. Basically, first in Dragonflight they said tanks were too strong. Now they say tanks are too hard to play, aka they're too weak. They just over nerf tanks and they don't want to say it. Now they said they're going to make tanks simpler. So they're nerfing tanks again, basically. Okay. Next we'll go to Paladin. Okay, Protection Paladin has gotten massive nerfs, by the way. We'll see what they actually say. We're addressing some pain points. Pressure paladins are subject to significant pressure and tension between defensive abilities, holy power generation, generating and maintaining threat, and immediate need to place consecration. We're aiming to streamline this by paring back on the number of layers of short duration or low impact defensive abilities. So that basically this means they're removing Eye of Tear. That this is like developers speak for saying we're removing Eye of Tear. Also, Ardent Defender now has a very long cooldown. And so does Bubble. Very nice. You're healed for 100% of the damage dealt by Refining Fire. This is a non-talent, not worth taking. Unless it's in the way, which it probably is. Casting Avenger's Shield causes Consecration to deal damage or healing again immediately at 100% effectiveness. Is this count? If this counts for like the Lightsmith talent, then that could be crazy. If not, then it's going to be useless. So we'll see. Judgment chains to 2 additional targets. That is interesting. Okay. You get more holy power from that? 1 more charge of Garden of Ancient Kings could be interesting. I think that's actually going to be pretty useful. This talent is completely useless. While out of combat, Divine Steed grants Shields of the Righteous for its duration. While out of combat, by the way. While you're in combat, it doesn't grant Shields of the Righteous. Great. Consecration deals 100%. Divine Guidance is going to go crazy with this. Too bad his talent is in a terrible spot. Consecration heals you for 1%. Completely useless. Sanctuary. This talent is actually good. But from where it is in the talent tree, which maybe we'll take a look at in a sec, it is not takeable. It's behind like 3 or 4 useless talents. Resolute Defender has been updated. So this used to reduce the cooldown of all of your defensives. Now it just gives you 2 seconds on Ardent Defender. Prot Paladin has effectively been neutered by this. Same with this. Avenging Wrath and Guardian of Ancient Kings. 50% reduced cooldown and 40% reduced duration. This used to reduce the cooldown, again, of more defensives. And not reduce the duration. So, yeah, Prot Paladin. These 2 lines have basically completely neutered Prot Paladin. I will be surprised if it is playable at all. Going into Midnight. Very sad about this. Yeah, I don't know. They basically just killed my favorite spec in the game. I might go play another game because of this. Templar has been updated. Eye of Tear replaced with Divine Toll. So basically, if you play Templar, you can no longer play Resonance, so you're no longer getting interrupts. Very nice. The Templar has been completely removed. Good job, Blizzard. Refining Fire has been updated. I think this is a nerf to Refining Fire. Divine Bulwark has been updated. I'm not sure what this means. We'll have to see how this goes. Maybe you can still spell block. We'll see. Word of Glory. Now it heals you. It doesn't cost mana when you heal yourself. Very good. Undisputed Ruling no longer grants holy power. What is Undisputed Ruling? I don't remember what Undisputed Ruling is. I'm going to be honest. Consecration and Flame. No one played this. LOL. Divine Toll changes for Templar. Eye of Tear removed. Faith in the Light removed. Holy Shield removed. Improved Holy Shield removed. Okay. It's GG. It is actually GG. Prot Paladin is just completely dead. You can no longer block spells. You can no longer have 100% spell block. So you're just randoming your spell block chance. Eye of Tear is gone. Defensive cooldown reduction, gone. It's GG. Prot Paladin's dead. I think Warrior was also dead, but it was only like 1 small change. Let's see, Warrior. Demolish now makes the Warrior immune to Boon Force. Okay, yeah, I told them to do this the first time they released it. Now maybe they actually did it. We'll see. Thunder Blast damage increased by 100%. Okay. We are back. Since Dragonflight, all 3 Warrior specs have been overloaded with cooldowns. Warrior class tree is now focused on damage dealing and survival. Okay, cool. What does this mean? You have Rend, some stuff is moved around. Anger management redesigned no longer reduces the cooldown of Shield Wall. Okay, good luck, Warrior. Hey, Champion Spear, good changes. Thunderclap damage increased by 100%, very good. Some talents moves for Warrior. Immovable Object gone. Unstoppable Force gone. Not sure how that's going to play out for Prot Warrior. Good luck with that. I can do this all day versus I think it's I can do this all day and the other Ignore Pain Talent Brutal Vitality are now a choice node. So I'm pretty sure you'll just play Brutal Vitality. You'll just play whichever one's better. Ideally, I'm pretty sure it'll be Brutal Vitality, but we'll see. Avatar is in the Prot Warrior tree now, but it no longer grants Shield Wall or reduce Thunderclap CD. So that's interesting. Field of Violence down from Rend and Deep Wounds. That's pretty good. But the biggest change is that Warrior Anger Management is gone. Prot Warrior does no longer reduce the cooldown of Shield Walls, so you just have 2 Shield Walls every 3 minutes. You know, 2 charges, which both have a 3-minute cooldown. So it's actually a 6-minute cooldown if you want to count both charges. So yeah, no more Shield Wall for Prot Warrior. You're just, if Shield Block is enough, good. If not, good luck. You're fucking dead. Alright, so Warrior and Paladin have been basically completely gutted. But the other tanks seem decently playable. We'll have to see. Also, Apex Talent's obviously not in yet for Prot Paladin or Prot Warrior, but for now, my gut reaction says that Prot Paladin and Prot Warrior have both been completely gutted. VDH also pretty gutted. Maybe Warrior or Bear or something will be playable, but it is looking real. This is like almost as bad as the changes they did going to War Within for tanks. Every season just seems like tanks are getting more nerfed, or every expansion. Hopefully they do something about this, or maybe we can just all go play Fellowship. We'll see. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out.